So you want to grow your own food, but you think you can't because you have young kids. Well, I'm Danielle and I have 5 kids ages 8 and under, and I'm here to tell you that it is possible. I have 10 tips for you on how you can grow your own food with young children. At the end of these tips, I'm going to show you what it looks like for our family of 7 to work in the garden together. And you will see these tips in action. So tip number 1 is to have food. You do not want hungry kids or grumpy kids. One tip I have for this is to grow snacks in your garden that your kids love. Strawberries or carrots or cherry tomatoes, sugar snap peas. If those are in the garden, your kids are gonna be snacking the whole time. You have a job to do. Tip number 2 is to have a place where your kids can be comfortable. Lay a blanket down. If you have a baby, wear them in a baby carrier, if that's your thing. If not, put them in a wagon or a stroller. Have them near you. Have their snacks, their toys near you. Make it so they are comfortable where they are. Tip number 3 is to have tools that you feel comfortable with letting your children use. They want to help. They want to be involved. Get a used little shovel. Get a beach shovel. Anything can work. Kids want to help. Tip number 4, this is a big one. Don't make them feel like they get in trouble every time they're in the garden. It is so tempting to yell at them when they pull something they shouldn't out, or if they step on a new seedling, or overwater a plant. Those things are gonna happen to you, and you cannot be just yelling at your kids the whole time, because then they're gonna create this animosity towards your garden, and you want it to be a place of love and joy. Tip number 5 is to educate your kids about what they're seeing in the garden. The more they know, the more they understand, the more they're gonna love it. We do garden walks every morning, and I walk around and show them the new things they're growing, what the plant is gonna turn into, and what it will grow. I have a scavenger hunt printable that I've created. My kids love doing garden scavenger hunts, and this one is specifically for garden, so it'll get them looking closer at what they're seeing in the garden, and I know they'll love that. Step number 6, as I said, kids love to help. Let them plant some of the seeds. Things that are big like sugar snap peas or corn are super easy. Let them plant the seeds. They will absolutely love taking ownership over a little seedling that they've planted. In fact, I give our kids sections of the garden that they can call their own, and they can plant whatever they want in that spot. Step number 7, grow things that harvest quickly. Things like radishes, those things are so quick. And let your kids harvest those things. That will show them the reward of what a garden can bring for them. Step number 8, this one is a big one. Give your kids attention when they need it. So I have the problem where if I have this big project I want to get finished, I want to plant out a whole row, harvest all the tomatoes, But kids seem to know when you have a huge agenda, and sometimes they feel more needy during those times. And that's just gonna happen. But what I found that helps is if you get down on their eye level, you look at them, let them tell you one of their stories, give them a hug, and then find another thing that they can find fulfillment in, and then send them on their way. They will get that connection, they will feel that love, and then they won't become whiny and get mad and frustrated at you. It will postpone that, and you might get a little bit more work done. Step number 9, send your kids on garden runs. So now that you've educated your children, they know what's growing in the garden, they've seen the benefits of what a garden can bring, now they can go and gather things you need for dinner. My kids absolutely love doing this. If you need basil for your pasta that you're making or pizza that you're making, say you want to make salsa for your tacos, send the kids out. Gather the tomatoes, gather the cilantro, if the onions are ready. Those are the things that get them so excited, and it's one of my children's absolutely most favorite. So garden runs. And my 10th tip I have for you is to change your expectations. Sometimes we have these expectations and these hopes of what we can accomplish in the day. Go into it knowing that you're not gonna get done as much as you want to, or go into it knowing that there might be a casualty here and there. You might lose a plant, but the main thing is you're trying to grow an environment where your kids want to be. And if you need to change your expectations to get there, that is the goal. Because for our family, it's not just about gardening, it's about getting ourselves outside in an environment where we can connect with nature and with each other and grow healthy, delicious food as we do so.
Now for a bonus tip. I like to have things that are next to or near the garden that kids can play with. Like activities like having a mud kitchen or a sand pit are so fun for kids. And if you have it near the garden, they can play alongside while you work. I recently built our kids another mud kitchen. We moved and they were missing our last mud kitchen from our previous house so much. So I built this new mud kitchen with more counter space because we have more kids. Added hooks to hang on pots and pans, and I made little pretend burners for the kids.
Let's see what it looks like for our family of 7 to get some garden work done.
Okay. I decided to make a whole wheat pizza to bring over to our property. We do not live on our property currently, so we have to bring everything we need. We were working during the dinner time, so having pizza there would be a great way to keep our kids fed. Right now it seems peaceful and having beautiful pizza being made, but this is what it really sounds like in our home as we're preparing to do this. We got all our chores done, and once the pizzas were done and ready, we decided to head on over to our property to get garden work done.
You can get a couple. Getting things all set up for us to be able to work in the garden is quite the ordeal when we don't actually live here. But we got it all set up. Kids are being fed, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on the garden. I just watered the cover crop and the grapes, and I noticed that some of the cover crop is actually popping up, which I said last time that I didn't think anything would come up because of how dry it is. I'll see you when it's all done. Because it hasn't snowed or rained in about a week, it's starting to enter into the dry season. The top of the soil is getting crustier, making it more difficult for us to shovel into rows. We're becoming more efficient in creating the rows, so that's good, but this last time has been more difficult. So as we are working, they are putting in the backsplash for our kitchen. Things are rolling. This has just been a super fun week for us. So many exciting things happening. Growing your food is not impossible with young children, and I know that you can do it. Take these tips, take them one at a time, pick one you want to do, and try it. Make an effort towards it, and I know it'll grow you, grow your family, and grow your food. I've made a garden playlist just for you right here, so go ahead and check that out.